Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Shila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So third canto, 16th chapter, sloka number 24. Hare Krishna, I hope you attended the morning 5:45 a.m. Bhagavatam class. It was a short class by Venkeshwari Mataji. Okay, I'll Hare Krishna, Amrita Mataji. I can't hear you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, you're able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's concentrate on the sloka. So I'll unmute everyone. We'll try to recite the sloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatte anibhishtam iva sattva nidhervidishto.
Tatte anibhishtam iva sattvanidhishto.
Shemam janaya nija shaktibir udhratyare.
Shemam janaya nija shaktibir udhratyare.
Naitavatri adipater bhata vishvabhartos.
Naitavatai adipater bhata vishvabhartos.
Tejakshatam tva anatasya sate vinodaha.
Tejakshatam tva avanatasya sate vinodaha.
Tatte anibhishtam iva sattva nidherviditsho.
Tatte nabhishtam iva sattva nidhervidishto.
Shemam janaya nija shaktibir udhratare.
Shemam janaya nija shaktibir udhratare.
Naitavatri adipater bhata vishvabhartos.
Naitavatatri adipater bhata vishvabhartos.
Tejakshatam tva अवनतस्य सते विनोदः
तेजाशतं तव अवनतस्य स ते विनोदः
तत्ते अनभिष्टम् इव सत्त्वनिधेर्विदिक्षो
तत्तेनभीष्टाम् इव सत्त्वनिधेर्विदिक्षो
क्षेमं जनाय निजशक्तिभिरुद्रतारे
क्षेमं जनाय निजशक्तिभिरुद्धरे
नैतावता अधिपतेर्भत विश्वभर्तोस्
नैतावतात्रे अधिपतेर्बत विश्वभर्तोस्
तेजाक्षतं त्व अवनतस्य सते विनोदः
तेजाक्षतं वा अवनतस्य सते विनोदः
Anybody likes to chant?
हरे कृष्ण माताजी तत्ते अनाभिष्टम् इव सत्त्वनिधेर्विदित्सो क्षेमं जनाय निजशक्तिभिरुद्धतारे नैतावतात्रै अधिपतेर्बत विश्वभर्तोस् तेजाक्षतां त्व अवनतस्य स ते विनोदः हरे कृष्ण माताजी
हरे कृष्ण माताजी तत्ते नभिष्टम् इव सत्त्वनिधिर्विदिष्टो क्षेमं जनय निजशक्तिभिरुदातरे नैतावतात्रयधिपतिर्बत विश्वभर्तोस् तेजाक्षतं तव अवनतस्य स ते विनोदः थैंक यू माताजी
हरे कृष्ण माताजी तत्ते अनभीष्टम् इव सत्त्वनिधेर्विदिष्टो क्षेमं जनाय निजशक्तिभिरुद्धृतारे नैतावतात्रयधिपतेर्बत विश्वभर्तोस् तेजक्षतं त्व अवनतस्य स तेह विनोदः
हरे कृष्ण तत्ते अनभीष्टमिव सत्त्वनिधिर्विदित्सो क्षेमं जनाय निजशक्तिभिरुद्धृतारे नैतावता त्र्यधिपतिर्बत विश्वभर्तोस् तेजः शतं त्ववनतस्य स ते विनोदः हरे कृष्ण माताजी
हरे कृष्ण माताजी तत्ते
Krishna.
अनाभिष्टम् इव सत्त्वनिधिर्विधिष्टो विहितिषो क्षेमं जनान निजशक्तिभिरुद्धेरतरः नेतात्वत्रय अधिपतिर्बता विश्वभरतस् तेजाशतं तव अनवतस्य सात विनोदः हरे कृष्ण
Krishna, thank you. Yeah, so let's see the synonyms. Amrita Mataji, you can repeat after me. That destruction of the path of auspiciousness.
That destruction of the path of auspiciousness,
Say by you.
they by you,
Anabhishtam is not liked.
anabhishtam is not liked,
Iva as.
as
Sattva nidhehe, the reservoir of all goodness.
sattva nidehe, the reservoir of all goodness,
Vidit shoho, desiring to do.
vidit shoho, desiring to do,
Shemam, good.
shemam, good,
Janaya, for the people in general.
janaya, for the people in general,
Nija shakti be, by your own potencies.
nija shakti bhi, by your own potencies,
Udrita, destroyed.
udrita, destroyed,
Arehe, the opposite element.
arehe, the opposite element,
Na, not.
na, not,
Etavata, by this.
etavata, by this,
Three adipate, of the proprietor of the three kinds of creation.
three adipate, of the proprietor of the three kinds of creations,
Bada, O Lord.
bata, O Lord,
Vishwa Bhartuhu, the maintainer of the universe.
Vishwabhartu, the maintainer of the universe,
Tejaha, potency.
Tejaha, potency,
Shatam, reduced.
Chatam, reduced,
Tu, but.
two, but,
Avanatasya, submissive.
Avanatasya, submissive,
Saha, that.
Taha, that,
Te, your.
Te, your,
Vinoda, pleasure.
Vinodaha, pleasure.
Translation. Dear Lord, you never want the auspicious path to be destroyed, for you are the reservoir of all goodness. Just to benefit people in general, you destroy the evil element by your mighty potency. You are the proprietor of the three creations and the maintainer of the entire universe. Therefore, your potency is not reduced by your submissive behavior. Rather, by submission, you exhibit your transcendental pastimes. Dear Lord, you never want the auspicious path to be destroyed, for you are the reservoir of all goodness. Just to benefit people in general, you destroy the evil element by your mighty potency. You are the proprietor of the three creations and the maintainer of the entire universe. Therefore, your potency is not reduced by your submissive behavior. Rather, by submission, you exhibit your transcendental pastimes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Supriya Mataji, like to read.
Hare Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Krishna was never reduced in his position by becoming a cowherd boy or by offering respect to Sudhama Brahmana or his other devotees like Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva, Maharaja Yudhishthira, and the Pandavas' mother Kunti. Everyone knew that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, yet his behavior was exemplary. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Sachidananda Vigraha. His form is completely spiritual, full of bliss and knowledge, and it is eternal. Because the living entities are his parts and parcels, originally they also belong to the same quality of eternal form as the Lord, but when they come in contact with Maya, the material potency, due to their forgetfulness, their existential constitution is covered. We should try to understand the appearance of Lord Krishna in this spirit as the Kumaras pray to him. He is eternally a cowherd boy at Vrindavana. He is eternally the leader of the battle of Kurukshetra, and he is eternally the opulent prince of Dwaraka and the lover of the damsels of Vrindavana. All his appearances are meaningful because they show his real characteristics to the conditioned souls who have forgotten the relationship with the Supreme Lord. He does everything for their benefit. The force exhibited in the battle of Kurukshetra by the desire of Krishna and through the agency of Arjuna was also necessary because when people become too irreligious, force is required. Non-violence in this respect is rascaldom. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishti Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lankayate Kiri Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Deenadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvara Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshdaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshtarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Tatte anabishtam iva sattva niter viditso Shemam janaya nija shaktibir udratare Naitavatratri adipater bada vishwabhatos Tejakshatam tva avanatasya sate vinodaha. Translation. Dear Lord, you never want the auspicious path to be destroyed, for you are the reservoir of all goodness. Just to benefit people in general, you destroy the evil element by your mighty potency. You are the proprietor of the three creations and the maintainer of the entire universe. Therefore, your potency is not reduced by your submissive behavior. Rather, by submission, you exhibit your transcendental pastimes. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so here in this verse again, the four Kumaras are glorifying Krishna. We can never stop glorifying Krishna because so much to glorify him, right? I mean, in material world, you start glorifying some actor, actress, or sports star, someone. There's a limit. I mean, there'll be negatives also with them. So there'll be defects in everyone because we all are conditioned souls. We all have defects. But Krishna is transcendental, and his pastimes are also transcendental pastimes. That means the three modes of material nature can't touch Krishna. When Krishna steals butter in Vrindavan, it doesn't mean he's in Tamoguna or Rajaguna. No, his pastimes, his name, his form, everything is transcendental. That means above the three modes. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdidam, right? So the Lord is so pure that just by hearing his pastimes, we also become purified. And Krishna's potency is not reduced by his submission. Like he is a cowherd boy, and Krishna offers respect to Sudama Brahmana or Nanda Baba, Vasudeva, Yudhishthira, Pandavas, Mother Kunti. Doesn't mean Krishna becomes small. That's why he's called Achyuta. He became the chariot driver for Arjuna. Why? No, he didn't have to do it. He is the Supreme Lord. He didn't have to become a chariot driver for his, but because he's his devotee. Bhaktosi Sakhacheti. For his devotee, Krishna can go to any extent. Krishna can break his promise also and take the wheel, and he became Chakravani and went against Bhishma, even though he had to take away his promise, but to protect his devotees. Aham Bhakta Paradina. Krishna is so addicted or attached to his devotee that by offering respect to Sudama, Nanda Baba, Vasudeva, all of them, Krishna doesn't become small. When the gopis chastise Krishna, Krishna enjoys it. How much ever the Vrajavasis are taking pleasure in seeing the pastimes of Krishna, double or triple times Krishna enjoys those pastimes. So Krishna respecting all of them, it doesn't mean that he becomes small. He doesn't never reduced in his position. That's why he's called Achyuta. He never falls down from his position. But Krishna is showing us, for example, that all of them are senior to him, Nanda Baba, Vasudeva, Yudhishthira, and Pandavas Mother Kunti. So he's showing that, okay, I came in a human form, so I show you the respect. So, and he is Sachidananda Vigraha, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anagiradira Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam, Satchit Ananda, right? Vigraha means Rupa. There's a form. And Sat is eternal, Chit is knowledge, Ananda is bliss. So someone is completely spiritual, full of bliss and knowledge, and eternal. That is Krishna. His form is completely spiritual. Completely. There's no difference between Krishna and his soul and his body. It's the same, right? So his form is completely spiritual. When we hear Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill, Krishna dancing on Kaliya, we tend to not believe it because we just know human activities, because we compare our power with Krishna's power, or we try to pull the Lord with our standards. How can Krishna do it? I mean, how can God do it? But we are not knowing that he have the supreme power and he created us. And why can't he have these qualities? So human beings, we tend to do more mental speculation and doubt the Lord because we always compare ourselves with him. But we should never compare the Supreme Lord, because he is transcendental. We are all conditioned by the three modes, but Lord is always transcendental. And here it said that Krishna is eternally a cowherd boy at Vrindavan. Eternally, right? Eternally he is in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Eternally he is in Dwaraka and with the damsels of Vrindavan. That means Golokera Nivishati Akilatma Bhuya. So Brahma Samhita 5.37 says Golokera Nivishati Akilatma Bhuya Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. So Krishna is always in Goloka. He is there in Vrindavan. He is there in Dwaraka. He is there in Mathura. He is in your heart as Paramatma. He is also in the atom. Andandarastha Paramanu Chayandarastha. How is it possible? Krishna can expand like that, but we can't. Right? So that's why it's inconceivable. Krishna's potency and everything is inconceivable. When Narad Muni went to Dwaraka, he could see 16,108 palaces. Each palace, Krishna was there with Satyabhama, with Rukmini, with Jambavati. He was there in all the palace, 16,108 palace. That doesn't mean Krishna is not in Goloka. When Krishna appears to do Paritranaya Sadhuna and all that, it doesn't mean he left Goloka and came. He's there also. He's here also. He's doing his pastimes. And the pastimes are eternal. Nava Yavanam Cha. And it's eternal. In every universe, the pastimes keep happening. It doesn't end at all. So to understand all this, we have to go through following the footsteps of Mahajans. As yesterday's sloka says, we have to Mahajanayana Gadasapanta. And we need to hear from the authorities. We need to go through the Goswamis to understand Krishna. Otherwise, it's not easy to understand Krishna. Okay, so here it is said that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So Krishna is always eternally there. Okay, you can see here, eternally a cowherd boy in Vrindavan means Vrindavanam parityaja padam ekam na gacchati. Amrita Mataji, my voice is clear, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So why it is said so? And still the Vrajavasis are in separation from Krishna. It's all contradictory. No, one way it said Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, but I'm sure you all went to Vrindavan last week and last week. And did you meet Krishna? He was not there. So the Goswamis, the gopis, and everyone were in separation from Krishna. But then Krishna says, I never leave Vrindavan. So one way he says he never leaves Vrindavan because eternally he's a cowherd boy in Vrindavan. Doesn't mean only Golok Vrindavan, but the manifestation of Vrindavan is there here in the material world. Krishna manifested. It's not different from Vrindavan. But were you able to see him? So that means he's not there, or he's in. So what is that contradiction happening? So here it says that when Krishna was taken to Vrindavan, like for 11 and a half years, he was in Vrindavan, enjoying the pastimes with the cowherd boys and everything. But Krishna had some other things to do, right? Why did he leave Vrindavan, first of all? When Krishna was doing a lot of pastimes, stealing butter and giving to the monkeys and breaking the pots of gopis and all these pastimes happening in Vrindavan, he's enjoying with killing all these asuras and everything. That was just a side business. The main business was to enjoy pastimes with his friends. Krishna also appeared for that reason, to give pleasure to his devotees, right? But the external reason why Krishna appeared is Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So these are the external reasons why Krishna appeared. So Krishna has to protect his devotees. Now in Mathura, there are two devotees, Devaki and Vasudeva, who's suffering in the jail because of Kamsa, right? So when Krishna was doing the pastimes for 11 and a half years, Narad Muni came, and Narad Muni said, Krishna, what are you doing here? You are the supreme personality of Godhead. You didn't come here to play in the mud of Braja to steal butter. You have some other great responsibilities. You appeared to protect your devotees. Devaki and Vasudeva are in the jail. They are suffering because of Kamsa. Don't you want to give relief to them? You are their son. And second, Vinashaya Dushkrita. How long you'll keep killing these demons sent by Kamsa? The main person to be killed is Kamsa, and he is becoming more and more aggressive. And unless you kill Kamsa, nobody will be safe in Mathura. So Vinashaya Chatushkra, you have to kill him. And third, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. When these two happens, when Kamsa is killed, definitely Dharma will be established. And Dharma is also representative of Kubja. I mean, Kubja, when Krishna went to Mathura, there was a hunchback lady who had a hunchback. She was very ugly, and she used to put this chandan paste, make chandan paste for Kamsa. So when Krishna went to Mathura, he saw Kubja. So it is said that Kubja is a representative of Mother Earth. When Mother Earth was so full of demons like Kamsa and Jarasandha and Shishupal, Dandavaktra, she could not bear the weight of them, that she became bent, or she became like a hunchback. So that's the comparison given. So when Krishna went to Mathura, he took away all the grief from Kubja, and he called her Sundari. And just by stepping on her toe and just lifting her face, he cleared her hunchback, and she became a beautiful lady. So that means to establish Dharma. Now these are the three external reasons why Krishna appeared. So Narad Muni came and gave a reminder. Now when kids play, you give a reminder. It's time to study time, come. And they don't come. They still keep playing. So similarly, Narad Muni gave an indication, Krishna, you're not here to do the pastimes in Vrindavan. Go back to Mathura. There's a lot of things to be done. And Krishna is like, I promise I'll go to Mathura. And Narad Muni left. The moment Narad Muni left, some cowherd boys came and called Krishna to play, and Krishna completely forgot about Narad Muni, completely forgot about Mathura, that he was deep inside Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is a place where the Sanatana Goswami compares it to, you have 1 kg salt, and you try to mix it with a well water. What will happen to the well water? It will become salty. But the same 1 kg salt, if you mix it in the ocean, will there be any difference? No. Similarly, Krishna's Aishwarya is being exhibited in Mathura and Dwaraka, and the quantity of water in the well is less. Similarly, the love for Krishna in Mathura and Dwaraka, it's in Aishwarya Bhav. So they appreciate the Aishwarya Bhav, Aishwarya exhibited by Krishna. But in Vrindavan, how much of Aishwarya Krishna exhibits, opulence Krishna exhibits, so much of love is there in the Vrindavan Vasis that salt becomes nullified, or the Aishwarya gets nullified, and they don't want to know Krishna as God. If someone goes and say to Yashoda Maya that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, Yashoda is like, what are you talking? I'm feeding Krishna. If I don't feed Krishna, he's feeling hungry. And when there is thunder and lightning and storm, Krishna is hiding behind my sari, and I have to tell bed stories. Stories to make him, put him on to sleep. And is this God? So she, whatever it is, even after showing the universe in the mouth, Yashodamaya never believed, lifting Govardhan hill, because so much of love is there that they don't want to know, and Krishna's Yogamaya covers them. Krishna also don't want them to know that he is God. Then only he can reciprocate, he can have this wonderful pastimes. So these are all described in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Brihad Bhagavatamrita is by Sanatana Goswami, and Lagu Bhagavatamrita by Rupa Goswami. So more details of Vrindavan pastimes are explained in that. So there Narada came and gave a reminder. Krishna forgot. Again Krishna started playing in Vrindavan. Then Kamsa had to send Akrura. So this was also planned. Krishna, in the heart of Kamsa, inspired Kamsa to make Akrura come. Krishna had plans. Everything happens for a reason, and the Lord knows it. So Akrura came. And then the Vrajavasis considered Akrura as the messenger of Yamaraj. Because when the messengers of Yamaraj or Yamadutas come, what are they doing? They forcefully take your soul from your body, but your soul wants to stay in the body and enjoy. But then death just comes. No? Yamasya karuna nasti kartavyam hari kirtanam. Yamaraj don't have any karuna or mercy. He just comes and takes you. You can't ask for any moment extra. So similarly, Akrura, when he came, he was also trying to pull Krishna from Vrindavan. And Krishna is the soul, Vrindavan is the body of the Lord. And the Vrajavasis were so attached to Krishna, but Akrura was taking Krishna back. And Akrura came and said, Krishna, Narad Muni gave you a hint. Now again, I have come as a messenger to say to you that Devaki and Vasudeva is suffering in the jail. Not only that, they lost their 6 children. Kamsa literally beat those children on the wall, and there's so blood across. And how can a mother and father bear that separation from their children? Their 6 children were killed in front of them. Nobody can take that pain. And the 7th child was Balram, shifted to Rohini's womb, and the 8th was you. And then what are you doing to them? You're giving pleasure to Yashodamaya and Nanda Baba. But what about Devaki and Vasudeva? They are suffering in the jail. They are kings and queen, but still they are suffering. So it's high time you go to Mathura and kill that demon Kamsa and save your parents, because that's the responsibility of a son. So Krishna this time was so touched, and Krishna hold Akrura's hand and said, promised, I'm coming with you now, right now. So Akrura had to take Krishna. That was his service. Akrura has to do it. And Akrura is so famous for the devotional service Vandanam, right? The 9 devotional service, because Akrura rolled on the mud of Vrindavan when he saw the footprints of Krishna, and he bathed with the dust of Vrindavan, and he kept on praying to the Lord. So the gopis were commenting, who named you Akrura? Akrura. Krura means someone who's cruel. And Akrura means someone who's not cruel. You are Krura only. You're not Akrura, because you're taking our life from us. You're taking Krishna away from us. And Krishna had to go. So Krishna promised Nanda Baba and all the Vrajavasis, I will come back. I can't say when, but I'll come back. And he promised them that he will definitely return back. So Nanda Baba and Yashodamaya, even though their heart was splitting, even though Krishna, there's a separation, but then Krishna had to leave because he had some other things to do. So he went with Akrura. So when he went to Mathura, Kamsa was there, and Mushtika, Chanura, all these wrestlers were there. Krishna killed all of them, killed Kamsa also. So when someone killed the king, the present king, you become the king, next king. Suppose Krishna has killed Kamsa, so Krishna have to become the king of Mathura. Mathura-dhipate Akhilam Mathuram. No, he is Mathura-dhipat. He has to become the king of Mathura. But if Krishna becomes the king of Mathura, then he has to be there. No, it's not like work from home. No, you have to be there as a king and do the responsibilities. So Krishna can't go back to Vrindavan. So Krishna thought, if I become a king in Mathura, I can't go to Vrindavan. So let me make my grandfather the king. He released Vasudeva and Devaki, and he made Ugrasena as the king. And he gave all the rights to Ugrasena. Because when the grandfather is alive, as a grandson, he should not go to the throne. And also Krishna have another things to be done, so many other things to be done, and he won't be able to go to Vrindavan if he becomes the king in Mathura. So Ugrasena was made the king. Another reason why Krishna stayed in Mathura is, why Krishna stayed in Mathura, he didn't go to Vrindavan, is Krishna just killed Kamsa. There are other demons waiting. Jarasandha was in Mithila, and Jarasandha, I told the story of Jarasandha, right? He was born in two halves, and he was joined by a Jara, Asuri, the demon, and so he's called Jarasandha. So Jarasandha could not defeat Kamsa, so he became friends with Kamsa by marrying his two daughters to Kamsa. So Jarasandha's son-in-law is Kamsa. So when Kamsa died, Jarasandha became so angry on Krishna. And not only Jarasandha, along with him, Shishupal, Dandavakra, all these demons were together to attack Mathura. So to attack not Mathura, Krishna, because Krishna killed Kamsa. So Krishna knew this plan. So if Krishna go to Vrindavan, then the demons are going to come together to attack Vrindavan. And Vrindavan doesn't have any army to protect. Vrindavan is a sweet place. They are just cowherd boys. They just know to milk the cow and make butter and all that. They don't know how to hold a weapon. So Krishna thought, if I go to Vrindavan, these asuras are going to come together and attack Vrindavan Vasis, and I don't want them to be in trouble. So let me stay in Mathura, because in Mathura, Ugrasena has a big army. There's a fort and there's a protection. And even if Jarasandha, Shishupal, Dandavakra attack, I can still withstand all this. But I don't want Vrindavan Vasis to be in trouble. So Krishna didn't go to Vrindavan. And that time, Devaki and Vasudeva said, you're a Brahmana. You need to get education. You need to go to Santipani Muni's ashram for 64 days. You need to get trained in all the arts and culture. Because in Vrindavan, nothing. You were just playing with your flute and running behind the cows. That's not. You're a Kshatriya. You're a Kshatriya, Brahman. You're a Kshatriya. And then you need to learn all these arts and everything. So you have to go to Santipani Muni's ashram. Again, Krishna was sent to Santipani Muni's ashram. And here in Vrindavan, everybody was in separation from Krishna. Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, Gopis, Radharani, Gopas, all were in so much separation from Krishna. And why? Acharya's comment, why the Vrajavasis didn't come to Mathura to meet Krishna? Krishna was in Mathura for so many days, right? And Vrindavan and Mathura is like few kilometers. You can take a rickshaw, or just those days, you can take a bullock cart or walk and go. But still the Vrindavan Vasis didn't go to Mathura. Why? Because Krishna promised he will come. So you're going to Mathura, it's like you don't believe Krishna's words. So they like, Krishna will come, not today, tomorrow, or tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or after 1 week, after 1 month, 1 year. So they kept waiting. And in between, Nanda Baba actually came to Mathura, and Krishna saw Nanda Baba. Krishna could not say that the demons are attacking. So Krishna just told Nanda Baba, you go back. And he gave his flute and peacock feather and everything and told, please take it back to Vrindavan. Go back and be there. I'll come back. And he promised Nanda Baba that I'll come back. So Nanda Baba believed Krishna, trusted Krishna. Even with heavy heart, he went back. And because Krishna told, I have some more work to be done here. So Nanda Baba believed that and went back. So when Nanda Baba went back, everyone was like, Dasharath Maharaj could not stay for long when Lord Ram left for Vanavas. The moment Lord Ram left, Dasharath Maharaj left his body. He died. So Nanda Baba is like, I can't be like Dasharath Maharaj also. Because if I die, if I leave my soul, what will my son do? Once he come back, he promised he'll come back. Once he come back, Krishna will search for me. And I can't be like Dasharath Maharaj. Dasharath Maharaj gave his life once, but I am dying every moment thinking of separation from Krishna. This is Krishna's plan. Like this, the Madhurya Ras in Vrindavan, it's full of Madhurya Ras. That rasa has two bhav. It can be a milan or that means togetherness, or it can be viraha or separateness. So viraha or vipralamba bhav is more greater than milan. Like when you are with your family, you don't, I mean, you are always, you are happy, but then you don't miss them. But you are separated from your family when you travel, you keep thinking about them. Every moment you think about your family, right? You keep calling them, texting them, you miss them so much. But when you're with your family, I mean, you don't know the value of the eyes when you have it. When you lose the eye, you really value it. Similarly, Krishna thought, when I'm in Vrindavan, yes, I'm having fun and they're all enjoying. But when I'm separated from Vrindavan Vasis, the mood of Vipralamba Bhav or separation is so high that I better stay away from them. Not only that, Kamsa's, I mean, Jaras and then all the demons should not attack Vrindavan Vasis, right? And also Krishna have other pastimes to do. He had to go to Dwaraka, then marry all these queens, and everything kept on happening. Krishna never came back to Vrindavan. And Vrindavan Vasis also, once they tried to go to meet Krishna in Mathura, but then they thought, what if Krishna is coming through some other way? And when Krishna comes to Vrindavan, he won't see us. So let's stay in Vrindavan. So they stayed in Vrindavan for long. And so that was one thing. And also when Krishna is in separation, the mood of Rajavasis are more intense. So even though he is in Vrindavan, but it means he's there everywhere, but still he is in the Yoga Maya is covering him from the Vrindavan Vasis, so that their love for him increases. So there's a pastime happening there which shows that Krishna's separation is the highest. That Radha Krishna both were sitting in one kund, I mean near a place, and then they were having the pastimes. And one bumblebee came and was trying to disturb Krishna, because wherever Krishna is there, because he's so sweet, the bumblebees come and always buzz around him. So Madhumangal, Krishna's Brahmin friend, who has a big belly and all, and he came with a stick to shoo the bumblebee. So when he came, he was shooing the bumblebee, and he took the bumblebee to a long distance, and he came running and said, Madhusudan Gaya. I mean, Madhusudan went. So Madhu means honey, Sudana means one who collects. So Madhusudan is also another name for bumblebee. And also Krishna is also called Madhusudan, right? So when Radharani was with Krishna, but when she heard that Madhusudan left, she thought Krishna left. Even though Krishna was physically present near her, she started crying. So much so that there was a sarovar created, and seeing Radharani crying, Krishna also cried, and it became Prem Sarovar. That place is still there in Vrindavan, Prem Sarovar, where there's a sarovar of pond created because of the tears in separation. And Krishna is like, I am sitting here next to you, and when you heard Madhusudan left, you started crying. So even if we are in union, still if there is a separation. And if there is a separation, there is union. So there is union in separation, separation in union. So both, I mean, it's of a high topic, we can't understand, but still these are the pastimes exhibited in Vrindavan. So eternally Krishna likes to be in Vrindavan. So Krishna is always in Vrindavan, he never leaves Vrindavan, but only pure devotees can appreciate the Lord there. And also he's hiding from the gopis and Rajavasis, Nanda Baba and everyone, so that their love for Krishna increases. Okay, so but then the conditioned soul, we are suffering because we have forgotten our relationship with the Lord. Since we forgot our relationship, because of this we are suffering, because of Maya. Maya is covering us and we forgot. But for Brajavasis, they can't forget Krishna. For us it's difficult to remember Krishna. For them, they can't forget Krishna. So that's why Prabhupada says we should always pray to Krishna that please let me not forget you and always remember you. This should be our prayers, not like I want money, I want that, I want this. No, please engage me in your devotional service, and let me never forget you, Krishna. Never. There was a devotee who actually prayed, Ande Narayana Smriti, I want to always think of you at the time of death, that I want a sweet death. That's his prayer. In the sense, I want to think about you and die. So finally, this happened in Kerala, Guruvayur temple. And finally, he went to the temple after he did a lot of service, devotional service. But his only prayer was, Krishna, let me remember you at the end of my life. And then he was paying obeisances in front of the Lord, in front of the deity. And he didn't get up. And everyone is like, 1 hour, 2 hours, he was paying obeisances. Something is wrong with him. And when they saw, he left. the soul left the body. He was paying obeisances to the Lord and left. So that was his prayer. So the prayers of us should be like, please engage me in your devotional service and let me not forget you. Now, so many janmas we have forgotten Krishna. So many janmas. And now, because of some Vaishnava's mercy, Guru and Krishna's mercy, we are able to remember Krishna. We are able to associate with Krishna, chant his holy name, associate with his devotees. Because of Srila Prabhupada's costless mercy, we should not leave this opportunity. It's a very rare opportunity we got. So this is what Krishna is when he is in Vrindavan, and when he is in Dwaraka and Mathura, Krishna is different because there's a lot of opulence. Now you can see here, this opulent prince of Dwaraka, but he's a lover of damsels of Vrindavan, right? And Krishna also takes away all your sins for so many janmas. Braja prasidam navanida choram gopangananam chadukula choram aniga janmarchita papa choram choragraganyam purusham namami. So this the Chaurashtaka, it says that Krishna is Braja prasidam navanida choram. He's famous in Vrindavan as Navanida Choram, but a thief. And Aneka Janmar Chitapapa Choram. He not only steals butter, he also steals the heart of pure devotees, and he also steals Aneka Janmar Chitapapa Choram. So many janmas we have accumulated our sin, and he'll take all of that. Aham Tvam Sarva Pabebhyo, Krishna says. So he is Aneka Janmar Chitapapa Choram. He takes your papa also, and he's famous as a thief in that way. And what? Chora Agraganyam Purusham Namami. He's Chora Agraganyam. He's the best among the thieves. But we can't go in front of the Lord and call him Navanida Chora, but a thief and all that. That's all for exalted devotees. We should always glorify the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's all for the Bhava stage or a Prema stage. We are all sadhakas. We are all doing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So we should always see the Lord in Dhasyapa. We are all eternal servants of the Lord, and that is our constitutional position. Okay, we should not forget our position. Our position is Jivera Surabhoi Krishnera Nitya Das. That's why in initiation you are named as Das and Devi Dasi. We are not that name. Like sometimes Das part is forgotten. Most of the time they call the Prabhu's name, any devotee's name, only with the Lord's name, and we forget the Das part. No, but we are named like Das and Dasi. That means we are servants. Make us remind when we say we are Das and Dasis, we become eternally the servants of the Lord. And I've heard that when you get the spiritual name, when you go back to Godhead, you will be known. Your soul will be known in that name. And it's like, wow, so Guru Maharaj, whatever name he gives you, and that's your spiritual name. So it's whenever we are in devotee circle, better to use those names. Some people, they don't use that name. They still use the Karmi name. But the more we use Karmi name, there's a lot of karma binding us. So better to use the name which is given by our spiritual master, at least in the devotee circle. When you go out, work, and your relatives, they don't know your name as Dasi and Dasa, but that's so glorious to know. So sometimes here the statement is very important. The forces exhibited in the battle of Kurukshetra by the desire of Krishna and through the agency of Arjuna was also necessary, because when people become too irreligious, force is required, right? So Krishna had to arrange the battle of Kurukshetra. Many asked, Krishna could have stopped that. No. Why? Because sometimes force is required to become, when people become too irreligious, no, there is force required externally to apply on them. Then only they'll get purified. So Krishna had to use the force to purify Kamsa, to purify Jarasandha, Shishupal, Dandavaktra, and everyone, right? So force is required sometimes for us also, because we are coming from a karmi life. Sometimes we need a push, we need a force from outside. It looks like a torture, chanting the rounds, getting up for Mangalarati and giving up, following the 4 regulative principles. It looked like force in the beginning. Many have left the movement because of that. Because of that. But then initially there'll be a little difficulty. But when you associate with devotees, it's going to be very easy. association will really help you to go through a smooth journey. And when you turn back, you realize, oh, I have left all these bad habits and nothing is coming in between me and Krishna now. So why do we want to waste this human form of life by just taking up some bad habits? Because if that is stopping you from going to Krishna, and so everything happens by Krishna's desire, everything. Krishna left Vrindavan, Krishna killed Kamsa, and Krishna went to Dwaraka, and he didn't go back to Vrindavan. Everything is Krishna's plan, and everything happens for a reason. And so that's why it is said Krishna's pastimes are transcendental. We won't be able to understand the Krishna's pastimes unless it has come through the Goswamis or it has come through the pure devotees. Otherwise, it's not easy to understand Krishna's transcendental pastime. Sometimes we feel, why was Krishna so cruel? He didn't come back to Vrindavan, and the Vrindavan Vasis were so unhappy. Another reason why Vrindavan Vasis didn't go to Mathura is, by the time they were about to go, Uddhava came. Krishna sent Uddhava, the messenger, to Vrindavan with a letter, and Uddhava came, and there was a nice pastime happening there with Uddhava. Uddhava thought he knows everything about Krishna, and he thought he's the best devotee. But when he went to Vrindavan, he could not trace where is Yashodamaya and Nanda Baba. So he asked one of the Vrajavasis, where can I meet Yashodamaya and Nanda Baba? So that person said, can you see 2 rivers flowing? Go follow the river, you will reach their home. It's like, what is this connection with river and home? So they said that Krishna left Vrindavan so many years, and Nanda Baba and Yashodamaya is constantly crying, and these are the ocean of tears that flows, the river of tears that's flowing from them, because they are in so much of separation. Goswamis were also in separation, right? They also used to search for Krishna. Where are you? Where are you? And Prabhupada says that is not associating with always being with Krishna, but within separation with Krishna. And now also we should realize that we are in this material world. I have fallen down from spiritual world. There I was happy with Krishna, but I have fallen. I'm in separation from Krishna. That is the mood of Brajavasis, and we can't just copy that, because we can't cry in separation from Krishna. We are not in that stage yet. We all do sadhana bhakti, and as we do sadhana bhakti, slowly we'll come to the stage of Raganuga bhakti, then Bhava bhakti and Prema bhakti by Krishna's mercy. Then only we can appreciate this stage of separation. Otherwise, Nayanam Galada Shudaraya Vadanam Gadgadaruddaya Gira Pulagayamichtam Vapunkata Tavanama Grihane Bhavishyati. We chant Shishtashtagam every day, but to incorporate in life, to copy that or follow in life is very difficult, and we can't imitate. Prabhupada says never imitate the stage of a Bhava Bhakta. You can't understand that. And how long you'll keep cheating others? No, sometimes he says that these professional Bhagavatam reciters, they cry when they sing about the Rasa Leela and everything. They cry, and immediately after the Saptah or after the Pravachan, they go behind the stage and smoke a cigarette. Prabhupada's like, what is this? What Bhava Bhakti he is doing, just to making a show to get money? And that's not the way to express your devotional service. So be practical, that one day, and have ulsaha, nishya, dhairya, have a lot of patience. The process will definitely work. It has worked in so many for devotees. So it definitely will work, but then we can't copy it. So we need to stay patient and get the blessings of acharyas and gurus, and then through the Goswamis. Prabhupada says, you can't understand Radha Krishna if you jump over the scriptures. You have to go through Goswamis. That's why we are called Raganugas. Rupanugas means we follow Rupa Goswami. So the Bhagavatam is given a detailed description by the Goswamis, and these Vrindavan intense pastimes are seen in their books. Okay, so we need to pray to the Goswamis. We need to surrender to the acharyas and gurus through Vaishnavas, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and then we'll come to know about Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. It's about the 3 modes, and we can't really understand the pastimes unless there is someone who guides us and unless we follow their footsteps. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone.